We got Mike and Red on the pod, yeah. We got stats and all the latest news. You know what, Mike and Red ain't no facade. What's your sport? Come and tap into. Yeah. 2 bros in a pod, yeah. 2 bros in a pod, a pair, yeah. 2 bros in a pod, where? Yeah. 2 bros in a pod, we here.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another fabulous episode. Thanks for joining us as usual. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention our newly acquired sponsor. Shout out to Alonzo's Cafe. Alonzo's Cafe, see that? Boom, boom. It's in Galway, New Jersey, right next to Cranford. You know how New Jersey is for those who may not know. All the cities are right next to each other. So it's not far from Elizabeth and Linden and Union County. Well, Union is the county, but Union City, things of that nature. So Alonzo's Cafe, if you're looking for cappuccinos, espressos, regular coffee, tea, scones, donuts. They have this new monkey bread that is just fabulous, a pull-apart monkey bread. So yeah, shout out to Alonzo Cafe. This show is being brought to you by them, and they're awesome. They're not a regular coffee shop. It's not. So it's a definitely an experience. If you're in the area, definitely stop by, grab yourself something, and tell them 2Bros&APod sent you. You already know what it is. All right, so
Alonzo.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, Alonzo, my bad.
Yep. Yeah. So shout out to my guy Gene and his wife Diana. They are the proud owners, and they doing their thing over there. When I say 5-star, I mean 5-star. 5-star. You won't be disappointed. Cinco, baby, cinco. So yeah, let's get to it. We got oh man, did we relive Malice in the? Well, it wasn't the Palace. It wasn't the Malice in the Palace. They took their show on the road. Detroit is not only doing it at home, they taking their show on the road.
Yeah.
Little mini junior high school scuffle. Wasn't no punches thrown or nothing last night. But 7 people were ejected, including head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Was it which coach was ejected?
No,
it was Detroit's coach.
JB Bickerstaff.
Okay, Bickerstaff. Yeah, Detroit's coach was ejected. My fault. Stewart, who's involved, he always seems to be involved.
Who started it though? I want to see who started it.
I can play the video for you guys if you want.
Yeah,
so you said Stewart started it?
Yeah, let's see.
I think D.Chamberz started it, if I might be wrong.
Evo? The Italian stallion.
D.Chamberz looked like he ain't want no smoke.
Nah. Look, check it out. Look what he does. He slams the kid on the floor.
Nah, I think they all. Let me see. Yeah, play. Let me. It was backing up.
They know they're not gonna swing though, because they you know what I mean? They get suspended.
Yeah, but you're gonna get suspended anyway. It's the suspensions is going out.
Ooh, okay. Let's go, DV.
Yeah, they little grabbing. That wasn't about nothing, man. Like, I hope the NBA doesn't really, bring the hammer down and suspend the cast for 10 games. Well, it ain't even 10 games in the season left, but suspend them for the rest of the season. That was, I say 2 games. Give them a little 2 games. And that's that. That wasn't, you could tell, right? Just pushing, shoving. Nobody got hurt. It was a kid in the front in the stands, on the court. Alex Rodriguez came and gave him a jersey.
He got hurt?
No, he didn't get hurt, but it made, just to, I guess, save face, after all it is in Minnesota, right? They don't want no bad press. So, of course, they're going to get the camera. The camera's going to catch A-Rod, showing that good gesture.
Cade Cunningham wasn't playing, right?
Nah, Cade didn't play. I think that's like his 2nd or 3rd game he missed in a row.
Look at Devo.
But Detroit is no longer the walking mat of the league.
No, they tough.
Safe to say.
They tough.
Detroit has an identity. They're tough as nails. They're going to, fight you and scrap and claw every single game. They're led by one of the league's young superstars in Cade Cunningham. And, they can rebound the basketball. So they are going to be a tough out. It's not going to be
for sure.
a walk in the park at all.
I think if the playoffs was to start today, we're playing them, right? Because they're 6 in the standings.
Woo.
So we're 3. Yeah, that's tough. You know what's crazy, bro? I think they can beat us, bro. They can. What you think, Abe?
I don't think so. They're too young.
I think they could
series?
take a couple of games from the Knicks. I think it 2 games at most. If Detroit Pistons take it to 7 or find some way to beat the Knicks, that means the Knicks were not playing New York Knicks basketball because they are extremely more talented than the Pistons. They have more stars. Well, they have their superstar. Well, yeah, they have more stars than the Pistons. So there's no way in hell that Detroit, that would be a huge upset. Even though it's 3-6, that would be like a 1-8 upset.
Yeah. No, for sure, because we're
you got Towns, you got
considered
Brunson,
contenders.
And you guys' punching bag has been playing, huh? My man Bridges has been balling.
And OG too. OG last night did his thing.
Go figure.
I think
Was he averaging like 20? He had 28 last night, but he's got to be averaging like 25 since Brunson went down. I'm talking about Bridges.
Yeah, for sure.
He's been balling.
Yeah, nah, for sure. You watch the game?
He got tired of everybody talking about him.
You gonna be watching games?
You ain't no Knicks fan, man.
I'm a Knicks fan. It's just different.
You ain't no Knicks fan.
I am.
You what? Was you home? Don't tell me.
I wasn't home.
You was working.
He watching Pornhub.
I'm
That's what he watching.
Plus, on my free time, I'm watching the fan bus.
Was you checking the scores at least?
Oh, yeah, I have like the
said
live
fan
scores
bus.
on my home screen. Whenever the Knicks play, I see
So
the
when
live
you went on
score.
break, did you catch the game? Some of the game?
Nah, I'm too tired, man.
So what did you do on your break? What time did the Knicks play
Turn on
last night?
Turn on fan bus.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, I was
Turn on
working
fan
till 8.
bus?
Yeah,
What is that? Porn site?
you know what it is.
So you were jerking on your break last night?
I'm just playing. I'm just trying.
Yeah.
Oh man, damn, Gabe. I hope you don't work in a food place part time. What was this job, man?
Nah.
The photography job, correct?
No. On Sundays, I work at like a antique store, thrift store.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We sell like clothes and
Jizzing on the antiques.
yeah. Don't shop
Jizzing
there.
on the antiques.
Wait,
honey, what
promote
is that
it, bro.
stuff on the lamp you just bought, honey?
Nah, okay, my bad. All right,
What is that?
No promotion.
What is that? That sticky stuff on the lamp you just bought in here, honey? Oh, it's nothing, baby. It's old. I don't know. Maybe it's some
Damn.
syrup.
Yeah, I ain't know that. Nah, that's cool, Gabe.
Yeah, I gotta get my bread.
No doubt.
He said, I got to get my bread.
No, 100%.
Nah.
So shout out to the Cavs, Cleveland Cavaliers, if won their 60th game yesterday. First time Cleveland's won 60 games since LeBron. Without LeBron.
Is that ever?
Huh?
Is that ever? Like ever? First time they won 60 games without LeBron, or since LeBron?
Since LeBron.
Okay.
LeBron, obviously, teams, they did it back to back. They were the first. And, so.
I don't know. You might have to fact check that.
Nah, they ain't. Cleveland ain't. With Brad Daugherty and them boys, they ain't win no 60 games.
Yeah.
Mark Price was dirty, dude.
He was good, but they ain't win. They wasn't 60 games good.
No.
That's a lot of wins. 60 wins is a lot of wins, man.
Yeah, you had Price, you had Craig Elu.
It's not a lot of teams that could say they won 60 games. And I mean a lot of good teams. So, just for Braun to do that twice with no other stars on this team, back-to-back 61 seasons.
Yeah,
I don't care if
60.
you was in the East, West, South.
60 would mean that you only lost 22 games. It's pretty impressive.
Correct. You got to account for all the back-to-backs, and that's impressive, man.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
That's good. Yeah.
No, that's more than good. That's great. 50 wins is good.
Yeah, 15 is
50 wins is good. 60 wins is outstanding,
yeah, 50,
bro.
50 games, yeah. I think we have 50, right? The Knicks should have 50, I think. I think we just hit 50 like 2 days ago.
No, we hit 50 a while ago.
A while? So what do they got now?
I don't know.
No,
You said
not
a while?
No, not a while ago.
That means they're closer to 60 then, if they was a while ago.
Nah, like 51.
Oh, we haven't even hit 50 yet. We're at 47.
Damn.
There you go. You
I'm
see?
thinking 40 a while ago is what we hit.
See?
40.
Told you, yeah.
What
I
you
know.
got, like 7 games left?
I don't know. Got a couple.
About like 10, I think. Well, you're 47 and what? 47 and
We're 47 and 27.
27, so that's...
So that's 50. That's 67 plus 7 is 74. You got 8 games left.
8 games left.
You
got
got to
8.
win 3 out of the next 8 to make 50.
We're going to win all 8.
Okay.
You heard it here first.
Who you playing?
We play the Sixers, dub.
Yeah, easy.
We play the Cavs, dub.
Stop it. Come
We
on,
play
man.
the
Stop
Hawks.
it.
Nah.
That's why you looked at me when you said that, because you don't even believe it. Hawks is not an easy win.
Hawks is an easy win.
What they score like 170 points the other night, the Hawks? 168?
Yeah.
Trae Young had 19 and 19.
They scored 145.
Who else we playing?
We play after the Hawks. We play the Suns,
Oh, my God.
then the Celtics,
Speaking of the... God.
then the Pistons, then the Cavs. Then we finish it off with the City Series against the Nets.
Yeah, we're not going no...
I say the Nets and the Sixers should be
Exactly.
guaranteed wins. Everyone else is not guaranteed, bro.
I think you're
Facts.
I,
No, I'm keeping it real. Yeah,
So stop it.
I'm keeping
if
it
y'all
100,
win
Gabe.
50, it's going to be 50 on the dot.
I'm keeping it a buck, game. Unless...
Because Brunson ain't coming back and playing no tough
cleared.
teams.
He got cleared to come back yesterday.
He got cleared yesterday? Mm-hmm. Okay. So maybe.
I think we're gonna.
Because without Brunson, there's no way. I don't think you guys would do it. With Brunson, you got a great chance of doing it. So about those Phoenix Suns, is this not the most, because for the most part, they've played together all year. Nobody has had any catastrophic injuries on the Suns this year.
Right.
None of the big 3.
Right.
So is this not the most disappointing, underachieving basketball team of all time? You got a surefire first ballot MVP, 2 times final MVP, 2 times NBA championship, Kevin Durant. Devin Booker done scored 70 before, 60 before.
he's
You
a
got
first
Bill
ballot,
led
too.
the league in scoring multiple times.
I think Booker's a first ballot, too.
So you got the. How is this not the most and no, Booker's not old, obviously. Bill is not old. KD is still playing at a high level, even though he's 36, 37 years old. Could this be the most underachieving team of all time?
Damn. That's a good
They
question.
they have like 36 wins.
No. Yeah?
Yes.
Can you check that game?
They got 36 or 35 wins, man.
Are you kidding me? Wow. That's sad.
Yeah, this year they have 35 wins.
35.
They're the
That is
11th seed.
Crazy.
This has got to be.
So they're not even in it playing.
No.
As of right now, though, is what I'm
KD
saying.
sprained his ankle yesterday. It's so bad they saying might as well shut him down. What you gonna bring him back for? For what? To risk injuring it even further? This is I'm saying it. We saying it right here on 2Bros&APod. The Phoenix Suns are the most disappointing team / big 3 of all time. Can you name me another one? And this is not the first time that KD has been on a team full of stars and it's been disappointing. Think about it.
But does it come down to the coaching?
Bro, when you got
Who is
that
the
kind of
coach?
talent, man, and that talent alone is supposed to give you 40 wins, man.
Who is more than that?
Yeah, the bottom is 40.
Yeah, facts.
The
More
bottom is,
than that.
without even trying, you say, I got Bill, I got Booker, I got KD. Whoever else we got, it doesn't matter. That's supposed to be 40 wins right there.
45 at that, probably.
So to have 35 with less than 10 games left
Yeah, it's crazy.
is insanity, bro. And no one's talking about it.
Oh, there you go, Mike. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, he won a chip with the Bucks, no? Yeah, he did, right? Yeah, so it's not the coaching. I don't know.
And this is
Maybe
not
maybe they don't mesh, right?
Listen, this is not a shot at KD. It's not a shot at Booker or Bill. They're all great players. But there's a reason for this. Right? So this is when we say it's a team game, right? It's a team game. This is what we mean. Because you got all of these stars and they can't get out of their own way.
Someone got to go, but who? That's the question.
Well, they tried to trade KD earlier this year. I believe he's not going to be there next year. This is what going to be KD's next. So if KD leaves, that's going to be his fifth team, sixth team. He's been on the Thunder, obviously.
The Nets. Golden
the
State.
Suns, Golden State.
That's it.
So next year will be his fifth team.
And he has a what?
And every team he's been on has been stacked.
And he's been playing for what, 15, 16
No,
years?
more than 6. Next year be his 18th year, I believe.
18th year. Someone got to go. But who?
So
That's
you
the
see
question.
how everybody is not cut out to be a leader? They have no leader, bro. They have no leader. Everybody's not cut out to be a leader. It doesn't matter how talented how much talent you have as a basketball player, how much you can score the basketball. It does not mean you are a leader.
I think they gave that role to Booker, though. But, again, he's playing with...
It's not working, bro.
Yeah.
It's not working.
Someone got to go.
It's not working.
Who you think got to go, Gabe?
I think it's just an issue of like all three of them are like need to have the ball in their hand to be good, right?
That is true.
No, KD don't need to have the ball in his
Yeah,
hands
you're
to be.
right.
He played off the ball in Golden State.
That is true, but
They just trash. They not playing well.
I think honestly, it's Beal is probably the issue. Beal needs
Bill's
the
coming
ball.
off the. All right, they benched him. He's coming off the bench now, so you can't blame him from the starting five.
No. He's back in the starting
He's
line.
back in the starting five.
I think he played like...
So it wasn't working. They benched him. They put him back. It's still not working.
Yeah.
Well, I just think that him being there is the problem. Like,
Him being there.
What do you mean? Like,
What does that mean?
well, yeah,
let
word.
me explain myself. Like,
Sure.
that man has a giant contract that could be going to, that money could be going to filling out the depth for the bench. Like him being there takes the
So
place.
you saying the bench is the reason why they only won 35 games?
I'm not saying that it's anything. I'm just saying taking
Possibly,
him
though.
off. Yeah.
Possibly.
If I was
We
the
need a
GM,
bench, though, for sure. Look at us, bro.
So when they had the big three in Miami with Bosh, LeBron, and Wade, right? They didn't have no money for no bench.
yeah, they had like great bench pieces though.
what you mean great?
Shane Battier.
Shane Battier is a great player.
Yes, he clutched up Game 5.
Goodness. Would you stop it, man?
Bro,
Would you stop
What else
it?
they had Norris Cole.
Norris Cole is a baller, dude. Mario Chalmers was
Norris
good.
Cole is a baller.
No,
Yes.
Chalmers was he was in the
Chalmers
starting
started.
lineup.
Oh, Chalmers started.
Yeah, he was a starter. Yeah.
Norris Cole is a baller.
Check it out.
He
check it
played
out.
his
Go
role
check it out.
correctly.
Let's go check it out. Let's see.
So you telling me if Phoenix had Norris Cole,
Who's
they'd be
on
45
Phoenix?
wins instead of 30?
Who's on Phoenix's bench?
You tell me. I don't know.
We don't even know.
Keep it real.
I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
I'm 22 years old. I was probably like 6 when that finals was happening. I remember Norris Cole's impact in name.
What was
I can-
Norris's Cole impact?
He was a baller, dude. He
Would he
throwing
average like
dime.
4 points a game?
Nah. I mean, he had. I'm gonna guess he averaged like 6 assists a game.
6 assists?
I'm gonna guess right now. No.
You smoking. That's what you doing on your break. You going in the back, one of them back rooms with the lamps and stuff, and you smoking.
Smoking and jizzing, right?
Yep.
Pause.
2
Yo,
points
you 6 assists?
in his prime.
I thought you was gonna say 6 points. You said 6 assists.
That's crazy.
In
man.
his prime, he was averaging 3.5 assists a game.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Wait, what?
3.5 is, and you say in his prime like he was a star.
I'm not saying that he was like the GOAT or anything. I'm just saying like
You can't say that.
he was a quality.
Can
bench
you name me
piece.
the bench on Miami?
right now?
No, when they won the championship, when they had the big three.
What year was that?
Well, I know
So
they had
Battier-
I know they had Battier.
Battier
for
was a
sure.
baller.
Mike Miller, whose back was done.
Well, he was a shooter. Battier was a shooter.
Battier was a defender and a shooter, but
Yeah.
it was,
Is that 2012, 2013?
yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't someone that
All right, we
We'll
got
go to the
Chris
rim and-
Anderson, Birdman.
Oh,
A
okay.
Birdman?
We got Haslam in his prime. We got Mike Miller, Rashad Lewis, James
Okay.
Jones.
Okay.
These are
okay.
quality
no,
bench
no,
pieces.
No. Rashard Lewis, okay. Okay, that's
I'll give you
one.
Rashard Lewis. He
That's
used to be a
one.
starter.
Yeah, that's one.
I'm just saying they had a quality bench piece. They also
And
had
what
Ray
did,
Allen.
what did Rashard Lewis average?
I'm not sure, but I'm just saying these are
That's what you're supposed to be looking at, sir.
Oh, what am I
Probably
supposed
like
to be looking
6, 7.
He was averaging in 4 minutes,
He
1.5.
played 4 minutes a game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but who's
So stop. Listen.
No,
Th-
wow.
you disqualified if you play 4 minutes a game. You're not even in a rotation, so don't name him. I need rotation players.
all right?
man.
Rotation
That's
players right
probably
here.
like-
Chris Anderson, right there.
Well, he averaged 2 points
He averaged 6 points.
and how many boards?
He averaged
Probably like 8.
8. Hell no.
he averaged like 5 total,
Okay.
6 and 5. Okay.
and then he averaged
That's okay
half a
for
steal
him.
a game, a block a game,
Okay. So what do you get? Like 20 minutes, 25 minutes?
15.
15?
He's a
Okay.
baller. That's a good bench piece.
Okay, that's okay.
What about Cole?
Cole was averaging 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists.
It's all right.
Yeah, and his assist to turnover ratio was amazing. It was on par
Next.
with Dwayne Wade.
Next.
Who else you got?
We got Shane Battier,
Okay.
17 minutes a game. His averages, I feel like, don't speak for themselves.
Whatever. What's the averages, man?
4
For what?
points. 2
Just
rebounds.
say 4, 2, and 2. I know you're gonna. When you say 4, 2, and 2, that means points, rebounds, assists.
No, I just am having trouble looking at it. Mike Miller was averaging 3, 2, and 1.
Wow.
I'm not saying that these
Okay, now go to Phoenix's bench this year. Go to Phoenix's bench.
Bench was ghost.
these are, by the way, postseason stats, just to be clear.
Well, postseason, you're supposed to step your game up. That's
I'm
that's
just
even
making
better.
it just so the viewer knows.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
let me
nah,
see.
that's-
Let me see Phoenix's bench because obviously their bench is scoring something. Because Booker, Bill, and Durant is what averaging maybe 70 points together, 65.
Yeah,
So the bench is scoring at least 30
sure.
a game, 35 a game.
for sure.
All right, here we go.
Talk to me.
I don't even know who's on their bench. I don't know who starts and who's on the bench. All right, we got Grayson Allen.
How much is Grayson? That's a good one right there. Grayson always performs. What's his averages?
10, 3, and...
So Grayson Allen himself is averaging more than Norris Cole, Battier, and Birdman put together.
well, he also plays 10 more minutes than any of them did. He's
Okay,
playing 24 minutes
so
a game.
he plays 10 more minutes, and if you add the minutes of Birdman, Battier, and Cole, it's more minutes than him. But he's averaging more put together.
Who else you got?
Who else?
What do you mean? I don't understand what you just said.
If you put Birdman minutes, Cole minutes, and Battier minutes together, they're more than just the fella you just named,
Grayson Allen?
Grayson Allen.
If I put their minutes together, they have better scores than Grayson Allen.
No, you said Birdman was averaging 2 points. Cole was averaging 4 points. Battier was averaging 3 points. That's 9 points.
Oh, yeah, but you're not... okay.
Exactly. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. So we got one person averaging more points than 3 other guys. Who else?
No, Anderson was averaging 6 points, Cole 6, and Battier 4. So that's 12,
Also, that's 16.
16.
Okay, 16.
And
Who else
less-
on Phoenix?
And okay, I don't know.
I think it's Nurkic,
I feel like this is whatever.
or is he starting?
Also, we didn't even talk about Ray Allen, who was whatever, playing the same amount of minutes.
We're not going. But Ray Allen, he's in a league of his own.
Yeah, but he was a bench piece for that
He was
team.
a 6 man.
Their 6th man is Grayson Allen.
Did he start? Or did Ray Allen start? Or was he
In the
I think Ray Allen
playoffs,
started.
he had
he
some
did.
starts in the
He
playoffs.
started, yeah.
He was
I
like
think
a,
he did.
No, so he's not a bench player. He's not a role player. Like he's not that kind of a role where like a Norris Cole. It's not the same thing.
But I'm just saying that I'm still just, I feel like my point is clear that the bench on the Heat was way better than the bench on the...
You haven't named me nobody but Grayson Allen. I know there's more plays than that.
No, I think what game means is like collectively, right? That's what you mean.
Yeah, like sure,
No, I
if
get what
you
you're saying.
nitpick and look at every single stat, but also Grayson Allen's playing more time. Also, they're a losing team. Of course, they're gonna let their bench guys ball out. I'm just trying to say that the reason they're bad is because Bradley Beal is stopping them from getting quality bench pieces. I don't think looking at every
Royce O'Neal is another good one.
I feel like you're like
No,
listening.
Royce O'Neal is a good player. Plumlee's a good role player. All these names I know you heard of before.
No, they have a great bench.
Marcus Morris is a good. He had 10 last night. Royce O'Neal had 6
They have a
last
good
night.
bench. No, they
Plumlee
have a
had
good bench.
9 and 6 rebounds last night.
Okay.
And
It's not the bench you want. You know
and
what I'm
look,
saying?
and
But it's
all
a
in
good
all,
bench.
they still got beat by 40.
Yeah,
The
that's
bench
sad.
did their job. Is what I'm
That's
trying to
sad.
explain to you.
Yeah, no, that's sad.
Look, 10 and 5 is 15. Plus 7 is 22. Plus 9 is 31. Plus 4 is 35. Plus 6. They scored 41 points off the bench. And
Yeah,
you
it's
still lose
crazy.
by 40?
Yeah, but they're playing like a ridiculous more minutes than they did on the Heat.
No.
then. Yes.
No. Look, whoever this guy is, Iguodaro played the most minutes off the bench. He played 20.
That was probably last night. But I mean, we can look at individual bench performances of finals games if you want to. I just looked up at the playoffs in general. If you want to look at like an individual game, I can give you a game where Shane Battier dropped like 34 points.
Look, first of all, and they got Bobo. I forgot about. Look, Bill didn't even play last night.
Who?
Bobo.
Who's Bobo?
Manu Bol's son.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Oh, Bobo. Yeah.
Yeah, Bill didn't play last night, bro. Bill didn't play. Bradley Beal didn't play, and Kevin Durant only played 23 minutes.
Well, Bill will get you what? 16?
Yeah, Bill's
Right?
averaging 17
I think he's averaging
points
about
this season.
16, 17.
Nah, Bill is averaging more than 16 points a game, man. You kidding me?
He's averaging 17.
17?
Yeah,
And how many minutes?
32.
Probably like 30.
32?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's giving you,
So you got his 17, and you got KD's 28, 29,
KD's
No,
averaging
no,
26.
26.
And
Yeah.
Beal's averaging 25.
So that's 51.
And what about Booker?
61.
Booker's averaging
That's 68
25.
points.
So 25, 25, 25, let's say all across the board. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
No,
25, 25,
68.
50.
68 points with the three
67,
of them.
yeah, 67, 68, yep.
Like I
Damn.
said, close to 70 points. So is that not enough to?
And your bench is getting you what?
Well, they gave him 41 last night.
40. Damn, wow.
They got no defense and they got no cohesiveness. So yeah, I think
So
they're
overall,
arguably the worst.
So overall, like, what is the issue? Somebody got to go, right? We all agree? Somebody got to go?
Yes, KD's got to go. Even if you take it back to when he was on Oklahoma City, right? And they blew that lead against Golden State. They was up, what, 3-1?
Yeah.
And they lost 3 in a row.
Yep.
Take Golden State away. Because Golden State was already a great team before KD got there. They was already great. They was certified. They just came off of 73 wins. So it was like putting KD in a fucking candy store and you're a kid and say everything is free. Go ham. He didn't have to do much. You got Clay. You got Steph. Who you doubling? You can't double nobody. It was like heaven. So take that away. What has KD done? Take that away.
Nada.
Tell me, Gabe. What
know
has
what's
KD
crazy, bro?
done? Take Golden State away.
Nah, nothing, though, to be honest. Straight up. But
KD's highest.
you know what the comments are going to say, though? We
Listen.
glazing, we
No.
this, we
Look,
that.
First of all, that
know what I'm
glazing
saying?
shit, that shit is bullshit. Because so if you don't like, for instance, right? If you like apples and we like oranges, we glazing because we like oranges. So aren't you glazing because you like apples? That's dumb.
That's exactly what I said.
That doesn't
though.
make
I
any
even wrote
sense.
that, bro. You
it
heard?
don't make any sense. All I'm saying is, take Golden State away. His biggest accomplishment is what? The toe on the line against Milwaukee when he was on the Nets.
Yeah, yeah, facts.
And yo, listen, KD is an all-time great. I'm not taking nothing away from him. But he has done nothing besides Golden State. And quite frankly, you could plug any star into Golden State and they was most likely going to win the championship, bro.
He bandwagon.
Like,
Straight up. He couldn't be Golden State. Nigga joined them. This brother we have here today, besides being a dope rapper, is also an executive producer, artist, actor, and a rap mogul. Coming from the rugged back blocks that has produced many stars from athletes like Stephon Marbury, Lance Stevenson, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Lance Stevenson, et cetera, and artists like Gorilla Nems.
Stephon Marbury,
and this
Laird.
brother himself, Coney Island's best, D.Chamberz, y'all.
Can't forget Sebastian Telfair.
Bashing.
I forgot.
No doubt, no doubt.
And can't forget Isaiah Whitehead.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
he's from CI too?
Yeah, Isaiah
Okay.
Whitehead. Yeah.
So you born and raised in CI?
Well, born in Harlem, raised in Brooklyn, but all my class pictures from the first grade is in Coney Island.
Okay, so you know my man Wes.
Which West? Sucker Free West?
Yeah, that's my man. My man. We had him up here not too long ago.
We from the same complex.
We went to high school together.
Yeah, yo.
That's what's up, man.
That's good, man.
Pleasure to meet you, brother.
Likewise.
No doubt, no doubt.
Fact.
Likewise, man.
Appreciate you being here, brother.
Yeah,
100%.
You know, part from the lake. You know, coming from Coney Island, it's like 2 bridges, but I'm here.
Nah, all good, bro. So you know, we basically were just talking about you know, the Phoenix Suns being the most disappointing super team of all time because they got 35 wins on the season, man.
You know, actually, a lot of times it happens like that. Just like, you know, not to just go backwards, but even like the Brooklyn Nets. But
that was another part of a team he was with.
But that was a 3-man weave. It sold tickets. All we could do is hope that they win. You never know these days, you know what I'm saying? So, like, basketball is very unpredictable. From the era I grown up in to now, it has aggressively changed. It's less contact. It's more shooting. I don't even know. Like,
well, you know what? Being as somebody that came up in basketball, right? So I tell, because you know I played ball coming up, you know, all my life. But so when there's shooting involved, right? Let's take for instance, right? You know, we was talking about KD, right? So let's take that Golden State team, right? Okay. So you got KD on one wing, you got Steph up top, you got Clay on another wing. Facts. So what that means is, right? What that means is you cannot play back. I'm talking about defensively, right? So it leaves that you know, that lane open, right? So it's easier to score, basically, is what I'm saying. You know, like, if you're Ben Wallace, right, you cannot roam the paint, right? Because these guys, whoever's guarding Steph, whoever's guarding KD, whoever's guarding Clay, they got to play up. They can't in essence, play no zone. You can't play no zone against that Golden State team.
Nah, Ben got to play coverage.
So when you could shoot, when a team could shoot, I don't care who you are, when you could really shoot the basketball collectively as a team, it's easier to score inside.
One thing I could honestly say, and this just goes from street hoops to the NBA, you could tell how they mesh when they're happy together as a team. And that just goes for every team because, like, nobody wants to think about it. Look at when Miami Heat had their run. Everybody was happy. You had Bosh, you had Wade, you had LeBron. They was happy. You know, you went to Cleveland. You had Kyrie and LeBron, and then you had everybody was happy. It's got to be the chemistry before just the players and the accolades of what they could do. So, like, sometimes when you're running a good game, you could strategize along the way. So sometimes I just think when people just go in there like it's a job, we get the job results. Nobody really want to beat it.
But so with that being said, you know, Bill being the only one besides LeBron who got a no trade clause in the league, I don't know, his agent, I hope he gave him a super bonus for getting that kind of deal. But he agreed to go there. He knew what he was walking into. He knew that he wasn't going to be the man. He said, this is Booker and KD's team. I'm the third man. Just like Bosh knew that, and he fell back accordingly. He ain't on Toronto no more, averaging 25 and 10. I got to fall back and average my 16, 17 points, my 8 rebounds, spot up in the corner and shoot when I'm open, and let LeBron and D-Wade do their thing.
100%.
So you know he has a what, a no trade clause?
Yeah, he has a no trade clause, so they can't get rid of him unless he agrees.
So he finessed, yeah.
So how do y'all feel about the Stephen A. Smith and LeBron thing going back and forth?
We spoke about that last week.
I look at it like this, right?
You should have snuffed him.
Look, I look at it like this. If it's basketball related, everybody got a job to do, right? Mm-hmm. Commentators, reporters, basketball players, GMs, fucking janitors, whatever the case may be. However, because let me be clear, right? This is what he said. LeBron, stop doing this to us. right? And in such and such words, like, yo, what are you doing? Like, you shouldn't be doing this. Talking about his son. So now you questioning my fatherhood. That's out of line. That ain't got nothing to do with basketball. That should not have not been said, regardless. And it's obviously a lot of people who don't like LeBron for whatever weird reason, right?
For some reason, it's just like that in life. You know what I mean? It seems like they love you better when you're struggling. You know, nobody talks about the people, but when you're that guy, and when you're out there, the microscope will stay on you. So we're watching somebody who's using the microscope to help their son. Look at wrestling. If you go look at, what's that?
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon. That was passed down from his father.
Yeah. You're
Facts.
supposed to do that, man.
Yeah, but
you
so-
know that. I know that. He know that.
But look at the comparison. You know, they hated on him too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's an excuse.
Nah, you're right though. You're right. You're right.
They hated on Vince McMahon.
It's a
People
fact.
in general hate on greatness.
And they hate him till this day.
Yeah, yo, he's the one, when you really go back, you know, for those who don't know, go check his story. I think it's dope. Just like I watch all the documentaries to make sure I don't make similar mistakes. And sometimes they have common mistakes. You know, we all get a break at these things. But one thing I do know for sure, when you start taking the lead, people want to know why you're taking the lead. Why is the attention on you as much?
Also because of technology, right? Technology is at the forefront. Everybody got one of these. Everybody got one of these. It's so many different platforms. You can't get away from sports or sports stories if you try to. It's on Instagram. It's on X. It's on TikTok. Yep. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple.
Everywhere.
It's on everywhere. So when we was coming up in the 90s, right? You got your sports from TV and the newspaper.
And the magazine.
And
Right?
the magazines,
Those players coming up, your Michael Jordans, right? And this is, I'm glad we talking about this, right? Because remember the peanut gallery and everybody was saying, oh, Michael's getting all the calls. If he didn't get these calls, they wouldn't be doing this. But those same people are the ones that's criticizing LeBron now and saying, oh, you're not better than Michael, but you was criticizing Michael.
Let's not forget, Larry Bird was a thing. Let's not forget Magic Johnson was a thing. And all he had to do was get publicized with a disease that I seen he possibly lived the longest with.
He's going to live to 100.
I don't even think he got it, honestly. Like, I just think they paid him to say, yo, check this out. Whatever, I could be wrong, and I'm not.
It's not far.
He been with it for so long, you don't even got it no more.
I remember the time frame I came out, I was a kid, when people said they had it, they looked like they had it.
Looked sick. Yeah, facts.
It looked like they, you know, it was something, you be like, oh, snap.
I don't care how much money you had, bro.
He looked the same from the Lakers to now.
He looked even better though, pause.
I guess that's what money do, and I'm happy, health, God has blessed him. I'm just saying.
Facts.
But like, even Magic Johnson, he had a run where he was doing things behind the back and no look passes. They always hated on him. And when Will Chamberlain dropped 1,000 points, 100 points, they wanted to, you know, this industry does that. You know what I mean? And especially basketball. When you had Olajuwon, they made sure Shaq was there. Shaq was there, now you got Yao Ming. It's like, now you got dudes running point.
But D, every industry is like that. Even the music industry is like that.
100%.
But when people what holds to be true, whether it's the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s to date, if somebody doesn't like you, they don't need much to go on. They're gonna just practically believe everything.
Right.
Yo, such and such did this. Yeah, man, I never liked that mother. You could practically say anything, and that's basically the case it is with LeBron. LeBron could fucking. What's up?
Here we go.
No, it's the case. It's the truth, bro.
Look, last year, right? It was Edward Johnson, right? He was on fire. Tim Wolves, right? What's his name? That's his name, right?
What are you talking about?
Edward Johnson?
Not Edward Johnson. Maybe I'm wrong. The guy, the young
Anthony Edwards.
Huh?
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. He played on the Timberwolves.
He's on the team.
Yeah, Ant-Man.
Right.
Yeah,
so when he was cooking and had highlights, they put that spotlight on him. And all
Could
it
he
takes
be the face of the? Yeah, but that's
They even gave him the face
business
of the
it,
league.
right? I tell people all the time,
That
listen,
was crazy.
SportsCenter's job, if you notice, even on blogs, on this and this, whatever is the next hot topic / story, they're going to talk about, right? They're going to talk about, which is a reason why they talk about LeBron so much. When that shit happened with Stephen A., Stephen A. said it. He said, oh, the bosses at ESPN said, oh, you better mention it. Of course. Because they know it's bringing in this.
You know, at the end of the day, when you have influence, some people will tell you, man, just ignore it because they don't think you have the influence. But somebody like LeBron James could dictate the weather of what people are thinking.
No, I believe that. I believe that. I just saw a video the other day. This was back from like 2007, where they was after the game against Cleveland and the Spurs. They interviewing Duncan, and Duncan said, such and such. How do you? He said, LeBron. He said just like this. He said LeBron is the best player in the world, and this is coming from an all-time great. They hate this man, Bron, so much that people would say that video is AI. They be like, he didn't say that. Tim Duncan didn't say that.
You know what else is crazy? They hated on Tim Duncan, too. Remember when him and Tony Parker, when they had it? Like, Ginobili, they hated it. He's too soft, this guy.
Oh, he don't got no moves. He don't do nothing.
And all the moves that they basing on is all Tim Duncan.
And now that he retired, and this person ain't better. He ain't better than Tim Duncan. You
know what they wanted? They wanted Tim Duncan to snap and like just push people to the floor.
Go crazy.
They wanted him. They just couldn't break his humbleness. And
he was laid back.
Yeah,
he was laid back for sure.
That's what it was.
No, Tim Duncan was great. I think he's actually, to me, in my opinion, he's the best power forward to ever play, and it's not even close. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Okay.
He's better than Garnett. He's better than Malone. He's better than. It's not close.
That's who I got. I got KG. What? Okay.
You see, KG, like that dog that KG got.
That's what made people like KG.
I don't know how mad Tim Duncan could get, but he will get there with Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, because they wanted him to be KG, act like KG.
Yeah. When people forgetting what Sean Kemp was just as crazy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like we talk about. What was that?
Damn,
Seattle Sonics?
Yeah, Supersonics, yeah.
Come on, man. Like,
he said
him and GP.
I'm just saying, when you throw it back, let's not forget what he was doing.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Power forward. Like, I don't know.
That's crazy. Let's get straight into the interview, man. What you got, Red? I got it. I started off. What was your first experience with music? How you get into rap?
Actually, my older cousin, and he used to watch like Video Music Box, and I saw Coogee rap, and it was something I used to try to catch after school. Once I seen it, like repetitive, all the way up to like Smooth the Hustler, MOP, and it was outside my door. You know what I mean? Because like once, like Coney Island was only known for basketball, but music was also out there at Coney Island as well. We also had like the instrumentals.
Yeah.
So we all used to start like that. So there was people that was before me that was doing music, but like everybody else that was out there, if you wasn't into sports, you was into something else.
My man said Smooth the Hustler. It took me back. I'm like,
those
shit.
the guys like, and
what you know about that?
Like street rap.
What you said, man? What you know about that?
Similac breath, man. Get out of here, man.
Yo, so like, and I told Smooth the Hustler that too when I was able to meet him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's crazy like when you catch up with the people that you even like Method Man. And I was blessed to work with Method Man. We got a record called Rap with a Legend. It's produced by Ali. It's out. It did numbers over 400,000 streams.
Ali produced it?
Yeah, Ali, Loud Studios in Brooklyn. And shout out to Method Man, So when I'm watching Method Man, and then now I got a song, he acknowledges what I'm doing. It also is like the blueprint of how I was able to go to music to film as well. And just me challenging myself, not just being actor. I took the executive producer role, writing stories. I went to John Dewey High School. At first, I used to be upset.
Dewey.
Because I was like, damn, there ain't no sports in here. They have all the sports, the biggest track field, the best basketball court. They just not registered in the books for whatever reason. But what they are registered for is theater.
Right.
Art, live band, stage performance, blueprint, architect, writing. And those are like the instruments that make me kind of like blow past a lot of the people that I went to that didn't go to John Dewey.
You did a few films with Maddie, right?
Right. So
Shout out to Maddie.
Shout
man.
out to Maddie. You already.
It started with web
Friend of the
series.
show.
One of the first movie I was in was called Brooklyn Gangster. I played Malik in that, and then like the teens, I was all in the web series. I was doing the Brooklyn Way, the Cycle.
Oh, you did that? Wow.
Yeah, I was in those like for consecutively for the years, because once Money and Violence came out, it kind of like set the tone for people that didn't have opportunities to be on big screen.
Yeah.
So like when I go with them, now I'm getting, shout out to Boss China. She put me in pieces, and then it was like more improv, and I'm like, yo, I could do this. This is what they're paying people to do. I do naturally. So just understanding that and understanding people's story, vision, and not trying to overdo, some people come there and overtalk the whole situation. I'm just there knowledgeable. And shout out to True Light Films as well as Maddie Toska. They took the risk of putting me in the first film that was on the big screen that was called Pale White Horse. It was #1 on Tubi. Shout out to Julito from The Wire. He also gave me some tips and pointers on reading scripts faster on the spot. Because sometimes you could know a lot, and then it's like, okay, now we're going 57 to 64. You're like, hold on, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like they give you about 5 minutes to
learn the whole script?
figure it out, that scene. Figure it out. They be like, go over there. And, you and your partners going back and forth. Next thing you know, the cameras is rolling. And then we did Will You Marry Me? I came back again. That was with Gravy, Julito from The Wire, Nia Lee. That did great. So a lot of people picked up on what I was doing. It was like, James, that's what you're doing. And then Matty Toaster took the risk of giving me more roles. And he gave me more light, as in I have more speaking involved. And I'm learning more behind the scenes. So
What do you prefer, music or acting?
It's just like
It's a trick question. though.
It's both art.
No, you know what it is? It's like when you have something new that you're doing, you're gonna love something new because you've never seen it before. You
Yeah.
never
Like a
did it
new toy,
before.
yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you try, it's like going to a restaurant and you've never been there before, and then you're gonna wanna go back eventually. So like with music, I've been doing it. I learned a lot. I got on radio. I did all the stages, South by Southwest, you name it, right? Only thing I didn't get to do was go overseas. But what I did know is with film, everybody sees you. It's not like, with rap, everybody do see you, but TV is accessible to the whole world. And with these live streaming acts,
It's more of a marketing tool.
100%, and it will help your music. It will help everything else, But one thing for sure is the attitudes. I didn't get to a place where everybody had attitudes and their chest was out.
Yeah.
But in the acting world, everybody's helping everybody. Everybody's eating together.
More camaraderie.
More family orientated. At least the sets I've been on. When they get there, they're like, "Oh my God, you were just on there. How was it?" It's not like that. People go stand VIP, make sure you.
Yeah.
These dudes soft and all that stuff. They don't do that in the acting world. People are learning their scripts and they hustling. It's a brutal hustle. That's one thing for sure. But me, I wanted to learn behind the camera as well. Like coming up with the storylines, teaming up with other writers. I know there was value in that. And if I could bring that vision to life and sit back and watch it on the big screen, you could get addicted to doing that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dion Taylor, because that, when 5 Mics first brought me to
Shout out to 5 Mics. That's the
we
guy.
all from Coney Island. Shout out to 5 Mics. He brought me to Dion's Taylor Black and Blue premiere. It was in the city on 42nd Street, Times Square. Swear to God, everybody's walking around regular outside, but when you go to AMC, I didn't even know it had a rooftop patio. You knew that?
Nah.
You knew AMC
Nah.
Theater?
Nah.
40 times.
That's crazy.
Dudes, Times Square has a rooftop patio where they throw parties
That's bugged
for
out.
movie directors while everybody's
Man.
downstairs.
Well, that's
watching
some
the movie.
exclusive shit.
I swear the pictures is on my gram. Yo, and I always ask people,
Yeah, we
did
didn't
you
know
know?
that. Nah.
Yo, it's a whole extravaganza on top of the AMC theater.
Wow.
I mean, Megan Good was walking around. Like, I'm watching so many actors and actresses, and I'm like, Tyrese came through.
I think
showed up.
it's more of the, like, for instance, like back in the days, I used to do security for this place called La Esquina, which means the corner. It's on the corner of Kenmar and Spring, or one of them. Right, literally on the corner, obviously, La Esquina. So upstairs is a takeout spot. You got the corn with the mayonnaise, that popular corn, burgers, all of that. Around the corner is a diner. But downstairs is a restaurant, a bar. I mean, you walk through the kitchen to get to your seat. You see everybody cook. But all of the stars, everybody who's who is down there.
Yo, it's also like shout out to I always got shout out to my. This is why I love music as well, because I work with my boy, my brother Cover from Clean and Dirty.
Well, that's
You know what I mean? I'm in the Bronx. I was
That's my
there
guy, man.
from 2019, but I was working with him since 2012.
talking about the producer.
Yeah, Cover.
Yeah.
You know, and I always got to shout him out because like during the pandemic, we locked in. And, you know, I brought Benny the Butcher to the studio, and then we just stayed consistent, and every song I did with him hit radio. So me and Juice, because I throw it's a difference when people say do music. I do business in music because I also have a dope platform called Trappers Only, Trappers Only Show, and that's an underground show where I got a lot of DJs from Hot 97, Power 105 coming out watching the show. Artists get a chance to get their song put on radio, you know, especially if I'm promoting a new song and I got a feature with one of these upcoming artists or somebody with a name. Everybody comes out to support me.
you doing. So you doing what rest in peace to what Slay did.
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, it's funny because I was on the Drama Hour. That was like one of my first times being on radio. Then DJ Self. Then, you know, all the other DJs kind of like, but Drewski always promised, like, once he got in position, he would show me more, and that's exactly what he did. And right now, today, is more of a tug of war, like, of you with the young kids or you with the original rap? You know what I mean? So, and I could do both because, like, I also came from the URL smack era. So I come from that aggressive freestyle, bars, rapping, and then I also just know like what helps the economy. And to be honest with you, sometimes us as we get older, we can't go to every event. You can't just up and leave to Atlanta because such and such is there. But when you're young, you can go do that. You know?
So how do you manage, right? How do you manage both sides, being an artist and then the business side of it?
I treat it like a job, honestly, because when you wake up, if this is what you want to do, you better figure out how you're going to get some money. So you either have some merch or you have an event or you have some shows you're going to throw and people are supporting what you're doing. That's like my key advice. But a lot of times, why a lot of people don't make it through or you don't see them around, because, you know, when somebody has talent, there's somebody who may believe in you on the spot and they might put 6 months worth of investment on you. And you may look like everything is going in your favor, but in reality, you didn't learn nothing. They kept you in the studio. You don't know nobody. You don't know this producer. You don't know that promoter. You be like, yo, I'm such and such. A DJ looking at you like he never saw you in his life. And he may have your song in the laptop, but he never seen you. He don't know you. So, like, I learned things aggressively, hand-on, and it came from out of the strip clubs, out of the nightlife. I always say the nightlife predicts what's going to happen during the daytime. Because if you're not in the spot where it's happening at, you're not causing the impact, you're up against a kid that's 21-year-old dancing on TikTok. Like, you're like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You got to, like, really, you know, pick your poison and how you're going to handle your target audience.
No.
What are some misconceptions people have about you?
They think I'm, like, too arrogant and not able to be spoken to. In reality, maybe I'm thinking about why am I here? Like, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? My mind be somewhere else, and sometimes some people may also just think you have it all just because you're trying to do it all. You know, I don't know if that makes sense, but like sometimes when people see you throwing the event, they think you don't need money. You know, they be like, yo, Chambers, I'm coming through. Like, you know, I'm doing this so I can pay for things. You know, this DJ, he's gonna ask me for money. The door girl that let you in,
That's 100%.
she gonna want something. The bar, if that don't move, they gonna want something. They be like, why are you even here? You know?
But you know what it is though? People who have entrepreneurial minds, right? People who think business oriented understand that. People who don't, they don't. But it's more people who don't think that way than there. Like for instance, if this room was
Like
filled with
that.
40 people, maybe 3 to 5 may have a business-like mindset. The rest of them is like, yo, why you charging that? Why you charging this? That's just the nature of it.
You know
man.
what I also noticed is like when I do events, I don't just throw them. I make sure there's a stage and there's some people of substance coming, and then the media. Because it's like if you don't have that, then it's like some people are just like, why am I coming there for?
Now that's dope.
And 100%. So like even if I dictate my own value. If I'm not doing nothing, why are they even gonna respond to my text? So if they seen you like, yo, Chambers, oh, he just was on a movie show. Oh shit, he was just on the radio. Now I'm popping out. I support Chambers. He moving. They're gonna support what's moving. So what a lot of people get confused is some people may looking at it as a promoter. Me, I look at it. I'm an event planner. I'm planning an event. You know, promoters, they go Monday to Sunday from brunches to breakfast. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. Sure. You know, like if I have an event, like I do bi-weekly, and then I do one big event where I get like some artists with some good names and a good DJ, and those be crazy. Those are the ones that be like 300-400 people at the door. But the biggest misconception also is people forget that I'm doing this so I could put myself out there as well. So sometimes people may think I'm just doing it for them.
Yeah.
Because I texted them, they told them come out and get a look.
I think an event and a party is different. I think it's different.
100% is different because look, with parties, you get the everyday. Shout out to MTA Rocky, Pretty Run the City. Like when I'm looking at levels of parties, right? And Mr. Chambers and Chase Sims, I give them guys their credit, right? Yeah, you 100% is two different worlds because you got people that's the everyday people, like the MTA workers, sanitation, NYCHA, the people that want to spend money and have a good time, possibly meet a lady, and that's what it is.
Is that true, Red?
At these events.
Is what true?
Now he mentioned MTA workers.
Yo, MTA workers, come on.
What do you-
these girls
but what do you
looking
asking me
cash
what's
out
true?
on that damn 401k. They know what it is. They stacking it. They can go in that duty anytime they want. Like you can't go to war with no MTA promoter. You cannot. You know what I mean? And guess what? And it's good. That's the lifestyle that they chose. And they tapping into it for, it's a backup plan. It's an extra income in my eyes, right? But now with the shows, people are coming there arrogant. They be like, niggas better give me a bottle.
Yeah, that's
Get it? You know what I mean? They're not trying to pay to get in, and they want a bottle, and they're gonna
That's out.
Yeah, and then it's like it's less females there unless it's a female artist or ladies is free, and then it's like, who are you there for? That's why it goes back to you got to make sure that place has substance. What's going on there? Are they catering? What's going on? You can't just be throwing events and violence is going on there. You got to make it elegant. You got to make it fly. So like with parties with the everyday goers, people they got to get up and go to work in the morning. So they might just do that on a Friday, Saturday, and brunch on a Sunday. Like with this rap and event stuff, this is Monday to Sunday.
Yep.
So,
Different ball game.
Yeah, different ball game.
So do you think the current state of hip hop is in a good place?
I think it involves like everything else. Could you imagine what the people that did jazz feel about the people who did EDM? Like, could you imagine how the EDM crowd feel about heavy metal? Nobody really thinks. You know what I'm saying? When people are raging and pushing and kicking each other.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
And go figure, right? Go figure, right? Music evolves. film evolves, sports evolve. And if we know this shit, why we always complaining, oh, the game is not like it used to be?
I'll say this. I was watching.
It's not supposed to be.
I was watching something, right? And this is why I learned, like, sometimes we got to be careful what we say, right? And I'm going to say it. Eric Sherman said what's going on today is not hip-hop, right?
Damn.
You can't say that.
That's bold.
I'm
gonna
here
lie,
to say-
Chambers, that's bold.
I'm here to say Eric Sherman is wilding. You know why? Because at the same time, there was another, there was somebody else who probably looked at Eric Sherman. Be like, yo, man, this like music. And we talk about dudes who was, this.
Yeah.
They
You
might
know
think,
why?
yo, he's soft. Like, what are you talking about? This ain't rap.
You know
what I'm
why?
saying? Like, so that's all. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Nah.
But with today's climate, they're just saying it with different melodies.
I think that was more of an emotional response from Eric Sherman, because this is a fact. Hip hop is a way of life, right? Hip hop is a
100%.
way of life.
100%.
So if the generations of today is living a certain way, whether it be right or wrong, they're gonna display that in their music. Period.
Right, 100%. Like,
So the way how we lived in the 80s and 90s is not how cats live today.
you want to know something? Also, like, music is just like any other entertainment field. You got your favorite players, people that's involved, right? So when I'm thinking of Eric Sherman saying that, I'm like, but Parrish Smith was talking the shit we wanted to hear. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm thinking, all right, that's Eric Sherman, but EPMD, Parrish Smith was saying all the, stuff that like related to the streets, and the kids today are saying stuff that are related to the streets. It's just so graphic that people don't want to be bothered with it, And if you think about it, back in the days, you might just get punched in your face, right?
It's a fact.
You see somebody with a leather glove, that was the gun. You know what I'm saying? You see somebody with the leather glove
Or
in the back pocket.
the little tote bag. The little tote bag.
Today, whatever it is. I'm talking about back in the days, dudes had the Nike zip-up glove, and they walk by and just punched you in your face. And it went from punching to razor cutting to shooting. Like, and when
They had levels.
Yeah, so when somebody died, it was like, oh, snap, somebody died. Today is like,
It's like happens so much.
It's normal.
you know what they'll say? That's the curse of Willie Lynch, but I don't want to put that out there. You know
it's
what I'm
normal,
saying?
it's
But
normal.
like, that's like how times have gone.
Back in our day coming up as young teenagers, you fought. You fought. Cats wasn't going to get their guns. Cats was scrapping.
If you think about it, a lot of these kids are no disrespect. A lot of them not even athletic. A lot of these kids are tech savvy.
Yeah.
We talk about some people like, oh, y'all old, you come from that era. Yeah, we was come from the era where slap boxing was going on.
Yep.
You come outside, you wasn't walking by without throwing your hands.
Body
and
blows and
saying
shit like that.
Something where you was
We should know about that, Mike. We should know about coming outside on the abs, throwing body blow fights. You can't touch your face. You only go to the body.
Like today, it'll be
Nigga,
two
man.
interactions, and then the gun is the tool is coming out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Whoa,
So like,
come on.
these kids, like, even also like walking down the street. So you can't blame hip hop for these things. These things is like how the system has made it. So I'll say that.
It's like drill, I think, is the worst genre ever, bro.
Once again, that's just like
Drill
another
is the worst genre,
It's like
for
heavy
sure.
metal. You know what they say?
Yeah.
We don't even know what they say.
don't.
And they talk about heavy
And they breaking shit, but they have a following, bro.
And so does the
cult
drill
following at
the
that.
drill following. It's just that we know what these kids are saying, and then it's like, wow, this is. But
Like Sleep in Peace to what's the young brother name that passed away? Juice WRLD.
this
Yeah,
genre.
Bro,
yeah,
he
yeah.
was telling you everything he was doing. He was doing that shit. Getting high, shooting up, all of this shit. He's saying in his music.
And also, like, look at Extension. He, all his music was like very emotional to target the kids that wanted to get out of depression. A lot of people be looking at all the other stuff, like because it's televised, and unfortunately, violence sells faster. That's why when a pastor comes to the corner and he's walking, hey man, nobody want to hear what he talk about. But when the pastor come to the corner with the new Benz, Like, yo, I'm going to
they
church, bro.
they jacking
like,
that.
yo,
Yeah,
he's
they
saying
jacking
something
that.
real. Like, it's a
Drama
Yeah,
and
they
sex.
jacking that.
Drama and sex.
a lot of people are look, but when you talk about put the spider, look what they did to the bishop, right? Like the Bishop Whitehead, like the first pastor in Brooklyn to have Gucci, and because he's like, This is what the Lord blessed me with. You know what I'm saying?
Where's that guy now? Where is he, man?
I don't know.
He still got his church in, was it Canarsie or some shit like that?
I don't know, but I
He
know.
said, that's what the Lord blessed me with.
Hey, yo, I'm just being honest. Like, and I would tell you, it was crazy because when I first met him, right, I was just like, he stood out. It was supposed to be like a music artist and uniting gangs and streets and people who had crimes and felonies. And he had all these people pull up to like Street Borough Hall. And it was just like, people was just like, yo, are you really going?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, yo, if it's going to push change and put everybody together, why not go? Let's just go see what the hell's going on. So he had the idea of walking, I guess, through downtown Brooklyn. He got a 5-year-old there, this, that. Everybody, like artists with some type of impact, you know what I mean? Even people from the streets, whatever. And then, like, on the way back, he had the commissioner there. Yo, you can tell
crazy.
that thing was over. Once they went back and they saw like the police commissioner, they saw this captain, they saw this, they were like, yo, I thought this was like a peace war, like, you know what I'm saying? But they was just like, yo, look, we're gonna stop the violence, da-da-da-da-da. And then if anybody can remember this that was there, I just happened to be busy. I was across the street when it happened, I'll say that. So they passed out one phone and told everybody put their phone number in it. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, yo, I don't know what the phone was for. You know what I mean? I guess it was so everybody could stay in contact with each other if they need it or whatever. But I know he was running for something at the time.
Yeah.
And that's how I remember him. And then when he came to the basketball games in Coney Island, he had the same car as Lance Stevenson. So I'm like, yo, this is the pastor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So when we're looking at it, it's like, it goes back to like people look at and point at once they see you winning or they don't understand what you're doing right away and they'll work against you. I'm pretty sure if he wasn't winning, he'd probably still be here.
Yeah. Nah, for sure.
And that's the moral of the story.
That's
I
crazy.
wasn't clowning him. I was just saying, like, yo, look, this is the first pastor we've seen. And, you know, we could go to the South right now, and the pastor always has the biggest house.
Yeah.
We go to any part of the South right now. Best believe that pastor got a yard.
All that.
There's something going on.
PJ,
man.
all that.
Yeah.
Close those doors.
Yeah.
Close those doors. They ain't going nowhere but to the restaurant.
You seen that, Chambers?
Oh, no.
That's great.
Lock them doors.
It happened like
Oh, no,
2
I heard about it. And you know what it is? That comedian Skinbone. And he did it. And when he does like a lot of these skits, it's funny. So a lot of times the real events get publicized on how these comedians and influencers put it out there. So when I saw Skinbone do it, he was like, yeah, it's $1,000. I need $20 from all y'all. And I was like, yo.
Dude said 40,000. That's what he need. He need 40,000.
Nah, that's crazy.
And he said, close the doors. Y'all ain't going nowhere.
Y'all running from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen, I always tell people the religion is more powerful than the actual law itself. Because when people go to court, you got to swear to God first before you even talk to the judge.
That's a fact.
So when people play with religion, I'm not going to say it's like a form of mind control or something like that, but it's definitely tampers with that cause
I think two things, right? I think two things. Your approach matters, and people who go to church, be careful of the church you're going to, right? Do your research the same way you would do your research when you looking for a house or you're looking for a car to buy. Don't just go to any church because it's a church. Be careful. Be careful, especially if you're
Well,
going
I
to be.
fell under that too, remember?
Especially if you're going to be, giving funds, right? Giving your hard-earned money. So you got to be careful about that. So,
What, you got it or I got it?
huh? Yeah,
I was gonna ask him one.
go ahead.
What rappers you want to work with, bro? If you had the chance to work with, who would you want to work with?
I mean, like, mine's are the obvious, and like, I guess it depends on the sound and vibe I'm in at the moment, because I learned, instead of saying I want to do songs with people just because it look like, I want to do songs with people that look like they genuine people outside of the studio too. I want to add that to the game.
True.
Because some of these dudes is corny, and a lot of people doing a lot of chasing. So when you get in the same room with somebody that respects what you're doing, that's the artist I would like to work with. And I'm pretty sure they will be in aligned with the same things that I'm doing. So I'm doing stuff with artists that seem like we on that same
Same
path.
genuine
I used to
page.
name drop. I used to be like, I want to do it. Then when I met these dudes, I can't even stand them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like,
Nah, I can respect that.
I would tell you something else we all got to respect, right? And I'll be the one to say it, you know. We had 50 years of hip-hop, right? 50?
Yep.
This year's 51, right? How long are we supposed to keep paying homage to the ones before us, and when are they going to start paying homage to the ones that putting 20 in too? We're part of that 50. How long we got to keep paying homage? Can we get some homage? When do they start? Because, you know, it'd be like one or two that crack the safe, but there's more of us. We at the age where dudes is 30 and 40 now. Like, and we still acting like people are Superman.
Nah, you're right.
I think, honestly, we got to, some of that love got to reciprocate back to the people who put 20, 30 years in.
D, I think that's a culture thing. I think it's a culture thing, because you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely, but it's more of a culture thing. So,
and that's not saying I don't have respect for the OGs and the ones before me.
the masses are used to it being done a certain way. So when things are done a certain way, saying what you just said, which is makes sense, but people are gonna show resistance, right? Without even thinking about it. Without even giving it a second to be like, wow.
No, I think
You're right.
I'm putting that out there.
That's a good
because look, we
point.
knew what it was when it was 20. We saw 25.
Yeah,
We saw 40. It's like, and it's just like when I'm looking at the Rock the Bells tours, and I'm looking at all the, I'm not targeting LL Cool J, you know, dope artists, Queens, shout out to you. But when I'm looking at that lineup,
You seen that, but old school.
like
Yeah,
at what
facts.
point we growing old in this too? We all got the salt and pepper. We all died out there in the morning. Like, what do y'all need to see the
No,
grave?
it's to the
Like,
point. It's to the point where this generation has no idea who these artists are.
This is another reason why these young artists
That's true.
don't know where they're heading next, and they like F the older dudes because they don't see a light to where they could get embraced and joined in. And then y'all cutting their umbilicals off saying, yo, this is not even hip hop. So if this is the rest haven for older people, no disrespect, what's left for the younger kids? Because obviously Rolling Loud, all these things are for the younger artists and
Burning Man, all that.
vibrant crowds. So when you take that away, and like even like Summer Jam, right? Obviously they try to mix the age brackets with the new talent.
Yeah, the new and the old. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But then, like, if you're not piping hot, you're not part of the new. So, but you've been around since the old, and then
So you get that privilege. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, facts.
How long? You know what I'm saying? But like, yo, you know what? He deserves a shot. We see what you're doing out there. You recognize you doing business. You created this because look, everybody knows me personally. I'm not bragging. Trap is only my platform breeds stars. I could name drop at least 10 to 12 artists that's on radio, on fire for the last 3-4 years, and they came out of my platform, and they go to these labels, they go to these shows, and like, yo, I got it from D.Chamberz, I got it from Trappers Only, I learned this from that, and then I still gotta chase y'all, you know what I'm saying? And then when I do go to the event, pass the pictures, the handshake, and walk off, and then I'm tired of that. Let's be real, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
keeping it real.
This is why, like, a lot of these young kids be like, yo, F this shit, I'm getting paper, y'all come over here, I'm shooting y'all. Because, like, we're just humble enough to be like, maybe next event we'll go talk to him and shake his hand, and it's the same thing at the next event. And then now you're like, oh, yo, you D-riding, man. You be like, damn, I was just trying to get him. Yeah. I pay homage. How many times you gonna keep telling him you pay homage, bro? And he give you the long arm.
No, that's real. That's real. Damn.
And walk off. Like, we gonna stop that. You know what I'm saying?
So with that being said, right? What is D.Chamberz? What do you want your legacy? What does your legacy look like?
It's still being written. To be honest with you, it's already written. But
what do you want it to look like? I'm sorry.
Everybody knows. Put it like this, right? I live with that warrior mentality. My brand's warrior mentality. Kings and warriors, right? A warrior got to fight every day to be a king, and a king got to fight every day to be a warrior. So to say, what is it going to look like? The fight is still going. Like before, it came from 36th Street when everybody was laughing and joking. Now I'm the person they need answers from. So it's totally different. So now it's like, oh, you on radio. Out of everybody that's talking, I'm the one with the features here. I'm the one that's on radio. I'm the one helping these kids. Oh, now I'm in movies. In 1 year, 6 movies, and I'm executive producing money out my own pocket. A lot of times people be thinking, oh, you need an investor. Yeah, you do. But guess what? They get tired too when they don't see no money coming in. You know why? Because you put all these years in and nobody's paying homage to what you're doing. So it makes it look like what you're doing is failing when everybody just picking and pulling from you. So how long we going to keep paying homage, invest into yourself, and stand out? That's my attitude.
No doubt.
Invest into myself, stand out. That's my story.
Well, check it, man. Listen, man, we appreciate you coming down all the way from CI.
Coney Island.
Let's do who you got.
You already know what it is.
Yo,
listen. Tell them where they could find you at.
You want to leave?
Yeah, they can find me by the nearest TD bank when they deposit that money. You know what I mean?
I like
respectfully. Shout out to Global Currency. You can see me on Instagram, D.Chamberz. You can D.Chamberz with a Z. CRW for Coney Island Warrior. D.Chamberz CRW. Warrior Mentality. WM Apparel is the clothes brand. Okay. Yeah. You know, WM Apparel. Trap is only show. If you're a new artist, you're an artist, you think you that hot, that's like the underground tunnel. It's like 300-400 capacity. You know, I picked different locations throughout the city. We did Leaders of the Tri-State. Shout out to all the DJs, the FM DJs. You know, definitely shout out to Drewski. Shout out to DJ Wala and all the DJs that support me, especially Spazzo, because I got best of both worlds because I got Spazzo that holds the real New York sound, like, you want to hear bars and somebody getting stabbed and shot, cool. Yeah. And then we got Drewski who does the melodies, the drill, and you want to hear that, cool. Yeah. So I got best of both worlds. If you're an artist and you don't want the promoter dancing all in your videos, come to Trap is only, man. You know what I mean?
Yo, D, man, like I said, man, appreciate you. Thanks for coming out, man. Please come back again.
Yes,
you know about sports, so we don't.
You know what it is? I'm one of the guys who didn't play high school ball, but pick up games. I'm dropping 16 out of that 21.
No doubt. Like, so we not prejudiced against if you don't know sports, but at least know a little bit of sports, right? Because we are a sports and entertainment podcast. But again, thanks for coming out. You already know what it is. Leave a comment. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the what? F up out of here. Let's go.
Yo.